start now. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for coming today. The Ocean Next Week's exhibition is about how Islam changed the cultural landscape of the Malay world, and also how the movement of people from abroad and also from the people from the Malay world who travel outside and come back and mix and mingle and come up with the new items and culture. So this is an exhibition. That 2 points is the highlights of this exhibition. So when Islam came, for instance, we can go at the map first. This is where, because we talk about ocean that speaks. So the ocean is, the highlight of the ocean is actually the Indian Ocean, which is the movement of the ulama, the religious scholars. Can you hear me even though I'm not wearing microphone? Religious scholars and also the traders who came from these countries like Hadramaut and Indian subcontinent to the Malay world here. So the Malay world that we talk for this project, for this exhibition is Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, southern part of Thailand and also Philippines. Because these are the objects that we display in this exhibition. So people from this from the Hadramaut ulama, very famous ulama like Sheikh, all the Hadrami people that came to Sumatra, and some of them are from Gujarat, India, also of Hadrami descent, who came to Sumatra, like Raniri from Gujarat. Those people who came from Kambat is actually traders, tombstone traders. When they sell during the 15th century and above, they have this type of tombs that very beautiful and attractive that people, the royal family from Sumatra and Pasai and even Java bought the material and use it here. While the people from Masupili, Patnam and Coromandel Coast and Gujarat are those traders from textile, we can see later, that brought all the textile to this region. So the people in the Malay world, consists of various ethnicities, they travel and spread the Islamic religion, and the people from China as well who came to Brunei and Mindanao and spread the Islam there. And you can see I think you see there are tombstones in China from the Sulu royal family members. And when the Dutch came and conquered this region called Makassar, they expelled a few royal families to the Cape Town region area, including this one ulama called Yusuf Al-Makassari, which is from Makassar to Cape Town. So there's a mausoleum here. And there's a lot of mausoleum of religious scholars, like in Singapore we have Habib Noh, which is actually he's from Gujarat. Habib Noh is from Hadramaut, sorry. So yeah, Hadrami people, which is with Arabic blood, came and spread Islam. There's Indian people and also Chinese. So these are the main people. And
this word that you're using,
Hadrami, they are actually from Hadramaut, Yemen. Yeah, like the oldest site in Malaysia, Syed and Sharifah. Yeah. That is the family members, most of them. But they also Syed from India as well. Yeah. So when
basically they're all Sufi, right? They were coming with their missionary movements and with trade and missionaries.
Trade and missionaries. So some are traders, some are missionaries. Yes, and some of them work in the royal families, especially the Nuruddin Araniri from Gujarat. He's a Hadrami, but he's actually from India. So the Hadrami moved to India from Gujarat to here. So they work with the royal family producing manuscripts. So they become the ulama, the royal palace, so that teach the Islamic religion.
so they came to Aceh.
They came to Aceh. Because Aceh might receive the Islam first, but there are also other kingdoms in the Kelantan and Terengganu might receive as well, because we don't have the exact dates. Because some of the people who came is around 10th century, we can find tombstone much earlier than 14th century in Sumatra, in Aceh. So people came much earlier, but we don't know the exact date when Islam came. Even though we have traces of tombstone and batu bersurat of Terengganu and all that. Yeah. That one 14th century, 13 something. 13, I think, I'm not mistaken, 1303 or 1302 of batu bersurat of Terengganu. Yeah. So, but we have much earlier tombstone than stone with inscription in Arabic and Jawi. Yeah. So when Islam came, they changed the script style of the Malay world. Previously we have Indic scripts. We have Palava, Kawi, Rencong. Those are in Malay language. So when Jawi, which is in Malay, which is in Arabic script, but with additional letters, you can see the yellow is the additional letters. We have cha, pa, na, ga, ba, and ya. All these are introduced into the Arabic letters to suit how the Malay writes and speak. So this is known as Jawi. But for those people who speak Javanese, who speaks Buginese, they have their own Arabic alphabet additional, but it's known as Pegon for Javanese and Lontarak Serang in Bugis. So these are, but the language they use is actually their own native language.
So anyone who speaks Arabic can read it but may not understand it.
Yes, exactly. Or they say this is not Arabic because this is so unique that they couldn't understand. Yes.
Curious to the La and the Nia. Southeast Asia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The cha is quite interesting because it's might originated from the Persian Persian letter cha, because they have the word cha in their language. So you borrow from other Islamic world so that it can suit the Malay text. So these are the words. So it was used until early, maybe around middle 20th century. We have still newspaper in Jawi, Utusan Melayu. When you can, I think you can get on Saturday in Jawi language, but now it's already declined. So, but the youngsters are trying to revive again to learn this, to learn at least to read, because most of the historical letters, historical documents are in Jawi. Even by the British, letters from the king from this Malay world to other countries, even to Napoleon, the Dutch and the British are written in Jawi. So they have to know the content. So you can see because from this Jawi you can read these manuscripts here. The most prominent script, and Malay become lingua franca of the Southeast Asia. You can see a lot of production of manuscripts, mostly are religious manuscripts because it's actually produced by religious scholars and students who learn Islamic texts. So here you can see when I said Pegon just now, this one is by on the story of Yusuf, Prophet Yusuf. So it's written in Pegon script. But in Javanese language.
Did you craft the whole lecture, is it?
It's okay. And then this is the Lontarak Serang. So you can come closer. You can see this look Arabic. From naked eye or our normal eyes, we can see, oh, this is all Arabic, but it's actually in different language. It's in Lontarak Serang. And you can see the Lontarak script, which is the Bugis script at the margin, which is not in Arabic. And this is quite interesting because it is actually a Malay language in Jawi with a Thai interlinear language, because people in the southern part of Thailand, those who cannot read Malay, they will learn how to read Malay using Jawi scripts in the 19th century or 18th, much earlier. Yeah. Even I think they have their own school book on Jawi in southern Thailand. So that, for instance, when you use Jawi as an important letter, important script, that dish belongs to a princess in Riau. So you can see the word Riau, Ro, Ya, Wow, in the middle to show the state of Riau, and with the chorus, the decorative, and the name of the princess Khatijah, if I'm not mistaken, Khatijah binti Seri Maharaja Sultan Abdul Jalil. She wrote, the name is written below the chorus and all the weapon. Yeah. But the spelling is an old spelling of Riau. The new spelling of Riau, you have to add alif in the after the letter Ya. Ro, Ya, alif, Wow. So the development of language becomes complicated because there's a lot of way of spelling it. So right now when you have like Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka, they have standardized the way of writing and spelling. So one of the reasons why it was declined, because it's the spelling is not constant, changes, and at that time the Malays think that this is quite backwards compared to the romanization of letters ABCD. Yeah, so that's why ABCD is easier to spell standardized. This one is not.
Yeah.
So that is the struggle for Jawi. Yes, yes.
So you mean Jawi is also under DPP's jurisdiction?
Now yes,
Do they have a kamus?
they do have kamus.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there's even a website. Not by DBP. There's a Korean professor who studied Jawi. So he created an app that you can translate Rumi, the Roman letters, to Jawi. Yeah, but sometimes you have to check the spelling because the spelling is not exactly the same as the DBP. But still, you can still read it and it has meaning. It's not really, yeah. So when you can see this manuscript is one of the earliest Malay transliteration, because at that time Malay couldn't read Arabic. Even though they were Muslims, they couldn't understand Arabic. So those who came back from Mecca and Marina has to write everything in Malay so that they would understand in order to spread the Islamic religion. So okay, so you can see there when people use this is Sumatra. So Sumatra also is very important port city when people came and sell various materials from abroad. You can see metal trade and all these things. This is a banner where you will hang in your house to attract, to welcoming people to any celebration. So there's no ABC here, so they write in Jawi. So they're welcoming people, like it's mentioned here, the name of the person is Hamina. And it's welcoming people by saying, Selamat datang Encik dan Tuan. So, and the name, the date of the celebration would be in 1327 Hijrah. So they always use Islamic calendars, and they're not using the Gregorian calendar at that time.
To show the names.
Yes, and yeah. I mean, they have time compared to us. So when I say about the people moving in, people from outside coming in, you can see this here. We have two quite old manuscripts. This is showing this Khalidat Al-Jaib is actually showing the earliest map in Islamic world. So the earliest map in Islamic world, when you can see European is actually here. Africa is up here. It's different than this modern. Yeah. So you can see the Malay world or Southeast Asia is somewhere around here between Bilad al-Sin, which is Sea of China, and Sea of India. So they always divide the world between seas. Seas of China and seas of India, and all this Malay world are actually islands in between these two regions or a part of these two regions. So you can here they didn't mention about any Malay the name of the Malay word that we understand now, but they mention about what they sell, clothes, all this material, and how the people behave or react. But all these copies came from stories, so they may not travel there, but they collect from stories that they hear. While this manuscript is actually from the during Ottoman time. He also copied from other traders, other sailors. So, but this manuscript is quite interesting. It mentioned 3 places that we know today. Java, mentioned about Fansur, which is northern part of Sumatra, which might be in Aceh. Fansur in Aceh. And also another one is Kala, which is probably in Kedah. So he mentioned here how to reach that place, what is the longitude and the latitude to travel and reach the place. So that's how people travel by ship at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
The writing is so neat.
Yes.
What happens if they make a mistake? How do they blanco it?
They usually they just scratch like using one line lah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like
Here. But
there's no example here.
Because there's no blanco.
No, if they make mistake, they would no blanco. They would just line to us and just underline lah, and then we'll do a marginal notes. For example, sometimes if they miss something, they put mark and then they put right here marginal notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like this. They're missing something. Oh, I forgot 1, 2, or few words. They will.
Oh, like that lah.
Yeah,
the
that's
one
marginal.
at the side.
So it's
Yes.
like calligraphy
Yes.
that you can't make mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah. But mistakes always happen, except if Quran also sometimes, but mainly copy back then. But now, of course,
Printed lah.
printed usually you standardize already. Yeah, but when people start copying, the printed no issue.
But then they will paint something there because they had
Sometimes
painting or
they
something.
lukis gambar, tak put a bunga.
In the middle. Yeah.
Oh, usually in miniature painting, yes.
Oh,
In the one that we I think few years we saw one of our colleagues studying manuscripts. So under infrared, I think, so you can find miniature painting, and there's no image. Or I think there's another image here, but when you look, when they saw check with the infrared, there's another painting. So usually it's like that.
Don't they mention Southeast Asia as Bilad Al-Jawi?
No.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, they don't call it that.
No, not in this.
Oh,
this
not in
is
this particular manuscript.
So far, I'm not sure. I think maybe it's verbal or it's another manuscripts, not geography manuscripts. This is they mention about Barata Air, Wak, all this island that sounds very unfamiliar. But the description is about the people in Malaya or basically in Southeast Asia lah. Because they say that people can fly, living on trees. But very rich with gold. Might not be Malaysia, might be Philippines. So because Philippines are very rich with gold, so things like that. And they start because they hear story and all imaginative people because they never reached here at that time.
This is 15.
This one is the 17th century, but the earliest copy maybe 13th century.
Oh, so it's a copy from
A copy from a copy.
The paper can last so long,
The
few
paper,
hundred years.
Yeah, because I think with a good restoration, with a good care. But
and they can buy it like only very special like Raja or maybe sailors will only like ship captains, or is it how accessible?
this is just a copy of how to say, when they travel they don't write, they just tell stories kan. So those
also
people
when
who
they-
start compiling stories and they make a book. So this, for example, Kharidat Al-Jaib by this person, I think Ibn Al-Wardi, his name. So Ibn Al-Wardi might wrote this in 13th century, but later on somebody copy because they have this tradition of copying. We don't have tradition of printing at that time. So now it's already been translated maybe in Latin after that, and then people start printing it. So this is the stories of the people from might be from Persia, might be from Arab, but when it comes to European, they came here for the spice. So especially the Portuguese, the Dutch and Spanish. So first the Portuguese came first to Malacca. I mean they know the way to reach Malacca, and then they stay in Malacca. So when the Dutch try to find route to find the spices in Malay world, they want to go to Maluku Island, not to Malacca. So from there they have to use their own navigation system because they try to steal and map from the Portuguese, but they fail. So they go find their own route. And the Spanish already come later, much earlier than the Dutch, because they aiming for the trades in Philippines. Because Philippines are very rich with golds and also very good at ceramic trades, and a lot of ceramic trades happen there. So there are a few things that happen on these two maps. These two maps by the Dutch artist, Dutch cartographer. So when the map production is actually for collection, all this type of map, because I think there's the Enlightened movement and they like collecting books, and this also the copy of the maps. So you can find here this ships. Two ships here, the Dutch and also the Spanish. The Dutch try to fight with the Spanish galleons to conquer the Philippines sea route, so that they can monopolize the ceramic trades and all that. Because ceramic trades in Philippines is quite strong. Even the ceramics came all the way to Mexico because the Spanish also conquering Mexico. And here this table shows the items, all the spices that they can get from this island, the Maluku Island. They can get cloves, nutmeg, mace, galanga, all this material that very important for trade. So you can see this is the earliest map. The earliest map by the Dutch artist. So it is I don't remember his full name, Jordicus or Jordicus, I'm not sure. Anyway, this is another work by him. Here you can see a ship trying to go. This is Vietnam now. This is Philippines. This is to show how dangerous this route from China to here. There's a lot of corals and a lot of shipwreck happening here. So there's a lot of shipwreck you can find here in this area in the Sea of Java as well, in Indonesia. We have Belitung shipwreck. We have I don't remember, Intan shipwreck, which is somewhere in Sri Lanka, if I'm not mistaken. There's a few shipwreck that contains material from China, the blue and white porcelain, also celadon that you can find in the Straits of Malacca here and also Sea of Java. This area is Sea of Java. The Bentong one is in the Asian civilization in Singapore. The metal belongs to Indonesia. Yeah.
Belongs to Indonesia.
Showcase.
By showcase in
The John Winston one.
yeah.
I saw the exhibition.
Singapore bought it.
Singapore bought it from
They
Indonesia.
always buy.
So that's the story for Bentong lah. So where is the city? You know there's a sport city and when people came, they start living there. They also have their own culture and infused with the local culture. You can see here is this one is called Gapyeok. Gapyeok is actually a partition in the house to differentiate a room when people gather. So you can see this might belongs to a Muslim because of the Islamic calligraphy design. You can find different type of calligraphy used to decorate this door, but there's no exact name like in Arabic calligraphy you can recognize. For example, this is quite different than this style and that one is different than this style. But all these are Quranic verses from Surah Al-Fatihah, the opening Surah of the Quran, and also the name of Allah. So all the verses is actually how to bless the house, have a calm life, more and protective verses. You can find, it's quite interesting, all Gapyeok in Indonesia will have pineapple upside down. So the pineapple is probably the Spanish brought the pineapple to Indonesia because it's actually a foreign fruit, but it blossomed in Indonesia and it becomes a part of the Javanese philosophy because when they create something, they have to put philosophy, meaning to the thing that they do. So, for example, the pineapple represent, from hardship become good life. So this is how all the Gapyeok door has this pineapple here and there as well, and also the one in the gallery, Malay World Gallery. They have also the same one Gapyeok with pineapple in the middle. And the interesting thing is another element is the shell here. And this is pucuk rebung style of the Javanese style pucuk rebung, the bamboo shoot style. But this might came from the candi called Kala. Kala, if you look at the Hindu Buddhist candi in Indonesia, they have this sort of monstrous, but actually the meaning is for protection. It looks very like angry all the time, the sculpture, but it's actually for protective element. So because this is a part of their identity as Javanese, already they have the two eye and the mouth. So this is according to the Javanese philosophy. When I read the papers, when they write about this material.
Is the pineapple a bit like the bar?
Yeah, quite similar, but it's quite similar to the shape, but maybe different decorative. For example, the one at the kampung Keling Mosque.
Yeah. So actually, this ocean specific for this exhibition is about different parts.
Yeah. Yes. In Malay, it's actually a term that used by scholars to represent all these countries because of the language and the culture is quite familiar. It's not political, but it's actually because everyone speaks Malay, but different dialect like Indonesia have their own. But way of life the same, and most majority are Muslims. In this region. Yeah. Even in Philippines, much early before Christianity came, the northern part of Philippines, they have their own satellite Manila. Satellite Manila, and the Luzon people also they work in Malacca. So they have like connection. Yeah. So basically, there's no geography, no borders at that time. So people can move everywhere and people can speak Malay, like all I don't think only Malay, definitely more languages at that time. When the Portuguese came, definitely, and it was a port city, definitely a lot of sound there. Yes, and of course the Shabana also, we have 4 Shabana in Malacca, those who take care of the Gujarati and the Indian subcontinent, those who take care of the Chinese, but they all represented by their own people. The Persian and the all this region. Yeah. So the next one, the one thing about the traditional, not just Malay, but most people in Malay world, they build things without nails. That's why they can move. So there's a celebration, I think. We call it Tanggam.
Tanggam.
Yes. Tanggam. You can see the image there at the panel. There's how the display unit combine all this, because there's no nails here. So if you look closer here, you can see the Tanggam. This part on this side. Can you see? It's a slot in hanging like a table lah. You can find it's very
So they can dismantle and
Yeah, a lot of people. Yes, and holding, and then that's why we put another. This is the tanggam. So there are two types of tanggam here. One is the upper part. This is known as tanggam kekang, which is the upper part of the gabyok. And this one, when you put the pillars, so you can just slot in.
vertical one, right?
Yeah, vertical one. Tanggam
So they
lubang.
can just unlock everything and carry it to a new place and
Yes.
fill up the house. And
Yeah.
This banner is from where?
The what?
It's from where?
Jawa. Jawa. Similar to this one also from Jawa. This is also another gabyok, but this is gabyok door. So you can see this has different calligraphy compared to that one. It has the color. Sometimes people relate this to the Chinese because of the color of red and also the gold color.
the handle also, is it?
The handle, I think, I'm not sure about that. Probably middle.
Yeah, because she said in Beijing, right, everything, all the doors. She just came back from
I see. So maybe, yeah, because a lot of Chinese in Batavia at that time. Yeah.
And then studs, you know.
Yeah.
They also have studs in China. This one, stud too. Oh, the door lock.
But this door is very common. It's not so you have this kind of number.
European.
Is it the house of a rich person?
Yes, the poor person cannot.
Yeah.
The rich, yes, usually the rich and probably not just Javanese but also the Chinese Muslim as well in Batavia. So you can see the color, and there's a few elements, the Javanese element which is called besusulan. The swirl thing called besusulan is represent the Buddha's hair of the, when you go and see Chandi, it has this swirl thing. It's curls, yeah. Well, the rest is, you can see lah, ni macam nenas juga lah. The concept even though, but just now lepas bergantung.
It's become more like the English style.
Yeah.
So like King Arthur's days, you know,
Oh. So you can see all these motifs is quite different. That one we have knotted this type of infinity knots, and we still have shell, and there's a lotus flower and a flower in a pot. The flower in the pot is something that you can see also in Chandi. They decorate the relief Chandi with the flower in the pot. So
This is
all
also
the Javanese.
Java.
Yes.
also interlocking.
This one is interlocking.
What is that thing in the middle?
The same similar concept of the pineapple. This concept.
Upside down.
This is upside down. So the same concept. This one is product of Java.
You have a lot of Java. Do you not have like maybe Patani or?
We don't have this type in Patani and Malay Peninsula. We don't have this type of thing.
Gerbang.
No, our gerbang is outside, not in the house. Our house is different.
You mean when you come into the like the
Courtyard.
Malay house or the courtyard, they have a
Yeah,
that's the one.
But this one in the house.
In the house.
It's like the Chinese courtyard, you buka and then you go inside. And
This one, according to them, is actually in the house to partition.
and the shell, is there a significance? Because you're mentioning
This one I don't remember the significance.
The shell.
that one.
Yeah, this
the
one.
big one.
Cave,
Yeah.
like
Because I don't remember. I only remember
maybe
about
to
the pineapple.
represent seafarers or something, right? Possibly. I don't know.
I don't know, but it has something to do
Shells
with
can
life.
be found in the sea, right?
This one is in a Javanese house, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
not like the Malay house. It's a Javanese house.
Javanese.
Not found in Peninsula.
No,
But because Javanese house, the structure is different from
This is
Malay
within the
house.
house. Within
This
the
is,
house.
according to them, is within the house.
Okay.
That one. I'm not sure whether it's courtyard. Both are Java. Yeah, even Sumatra has their own.
This painting will not last outside.
Huh?
I mean, you
This one already restored.
Yeah.
Already being restored. You can see the color before is very dark, now it's already very shiny, and some missing pieces already being replaced. So yeah, it's already being replaced. This one, but they are Chinese Muslims, so maybe the culture came from the Chinese, not necessarily from Javanese, but the philosophy, all this made by the Javanese craftsmen. So here you can see the treated material from India. These two is actually before we were colonized. You can find the Spice Islands, especially Ternate and Tidore, were really, really rich. The king were really, really rich. So this is the king named Saifuddin of Tidore in Indonesia. So he got all this thing and also the painting made by the VOC because they managed to secure the Clove Strait with this king Saifuddin. So now currently this painting is in Poland. So we just got to reprint this painting lah.
You say it's in Poland?
Yes.
Why is it in Poland?
I'm not sure how from VOC goes to Poland.
Do you know what happened to his hand?
Yeah, this one we're not sure. Maybe he got lipe, got something or leprosy or issue with the house. Because there's no history that we mentioned it, so we're not sure. Yeah, but it got something to do with the hand. Recent scholar mentioned something.
He's from Banda Island, is it?
It's from Tidore, Indonesia.
Where is that?
Also in the Maluku Island.
Maluku.
Because they have few small islands. And well, these two are the ambassadors from Banten, Jawa. So they went there for representing the Banten Sultanate to trace with from the Britain materials such as clothes and weaponry. So that's how they exchange materials from clothes, and they even send crates over there, and so the West would send rifles and other items. That is how they exchange before colonization. So one of the few items here you can see this is all Indian traded textiles. These two are from the Gujarat part of India, and this is known as patola. So these are famous in Indonesia, especially in Kraton and also the Yogyakarta or Surakarta, where the king would turn this into a pants, while that one for dancers in the Kraton, they would tie it around the waist.
These are saris, in Gujarat. The patola is woven from the time a child is born and given and it's it's very traditional.
Oh, that one?
Is born, they start making it.
Yes, but it's very long. I'm not sure how many times they have to wrap. But it's what until now I think. But now they produce in Indonesia. So the dancers in Kraton will wear the same pattern, maybe different pattern, but it's similar to this pattern. For example, it has and this Indian influence pattern.
Does it have some power?
Power?
Yeah, I attended another talk where the guy said he has power and it sits behind the king.
Oh, that one I'm not sure.
No.
Maybe there is another different type of material.
Patola.
Patolas are woven from the time a child is born traditionally and given.
Maybe there is Cindai.
No, he said patola.
Oh, he said
Yeah,
patola.
he just showed the patola. There was a patola exhibition recently, a few months ago.
Where
Jangwangi, that John Ang, you know?
Oh, John
Yeah.
Maybe because they use it as pusaka as well as
and
then they think it.
it's a power. But for us, we just think about trades. For instance, during the Sultanate of Aceh, they would trade textile from India for elephant and tin in Perak and also in Aceh. So they use Indian traded. So the Indian would need elephant from this region, so they will exchange with textile because we don't use coin at that time. This is known as kain sembagi. So sometimes the kain sembagi came without the gold, we call it gold prada or telepok. So all this is actually gold leaves that they pasted on the textile when it reached the Sumatra region.
Very beautiful.
Yes.
Why only half gold?
Probably they only want to show the only gold part, so they don't put everything. Because that one also until half, not really full. Yeah, and probably it's expensive as well to get gold leaves.
Yeah.
Yes. Because now it's like 300 ringgit I think for how many pages? I know. Yes.
I'm just saying that kind of like the pattern then cannot be seen, so maybe that's why so they leave half, so the original pattern can be seen. Because like the gold leaf, yeah, it looks classy, but the pattern cannot see already.
But the yeah, I think so. Yeah. Correct. Because
Or maybe when they fold, this is inside, this outside.
Or maybe
yeah,
also,
this
Yeah.
should be outside. This should
Inside,
be
outside.
But to maintain the originality, probably they will keep only this part, so at least we can still see the original pattern.
Must be hard to clean.
They don't clean, I think, because this
Just
one
smoke
they
it
just
lah.
smoke it lah.
What would they use this for? Is it ceremony?
I think for a certain ceremony they would wear this. Maybe as a part of their dress. Yeah. Yes, but you can find it everywhere in Indonesia. Yeah. So when it comes to Indian trades, you can also see this one we call dowry box. Dowry box. So the dowry box is actually some how to say, a tradition in India that they used to put all the clothes and everything for the bride to bring to the house of the when they get married, to the husband house. So this is made in Indonesia, but the tradition goes all the way from India to Zanzibar to other places, including European, because this is quite normal tradition at that time. It's just that the unique thing about Indonesia is that they added wheels to the this dowry box, or we call it in Malay gerobok. So when you under here, there's nothing inside actually. It's just a wooden panel. It's quite empty, no carving. Only the outside is fully carved. And here you can see all these are all taken from the Quranic verses of surah, important surah that they like maybe. And you can find the material, the pattern is actually very Indonesian with the lotus flower. But the calligraphy is totally regional calligraphy, which is from Indonesia. It's not an Arabic calligraphy where you look at the door, it's very fine. This is the way how the Indonesian prepare their own calligraphy. So all this motif, and you see the color also same as the yellow. They always use red, but we also have other color as well. Yes.
So how is the prayer?
Oh, the prayer is actually just a divider. When you want to pray, you put it in front. But there's something about praying. Either you separate between male and female. Another way is actually when you pray, you cannot allow people walking right in front of you, so you block. Sometimes we put our back so that people don't walk, because so many people in the shopping mall, so you have to put our back so that they can cross over. So here you can see how important was textile. It's actually for weddings as a part of dowry. Sex trades, and you can see these are two weddings in Lampung, Indonesia. You can see a lot of types of material like kain and this is so it, but there's so like gold embroidered textile. You can see gold embroidered here, and there are rich people in Lampung, Indonesia. There are two weddings actually here. See, so this is the culture back then. When besides money, they also give materials, sort of like a king, like textile mostly. Oh no, I think it's on the pole. Oh, on the pole. Yeah. There is the show how much they give to display. Yeah. And this one also, sometimes they have a stack. In Minangkabau, they have a stack of textile next to the bride wedding room. Yes. So this is an old tradition now. But now definitely, you know.
So this is the like Raja Sehari.
Yeah, king for a day. Yes.
Oh, that's a bride.
Yes.
They look kind of old. That one looks.
I don't know how to say. This one is quite young.
It's a serious thing, right?
Yes, family matters, family affairs. So when you talk about trades, we also have trades from China and European. Here you can find ceramic trades. So when Chinese came to trades in Malay world, they also would use barter system, but they would sell porcelains and other material. So this is quite 17th century, quite not that old. And you can find these two are from China, while these two are from Europeans. So the Europeans see the importance of ceramic production in China, and a lot of people in Southeast Asia would collect all this material, not just Malay world. And you can find this, you can find Chinese element on this swatao dish, and that one also is swatao dish, but it's known famously known as Aceh swatau dish, because you can find this a lot in Aceh. Because one of the reason is the seal of the Aceh Sultanate is in this shape, in this order, which is the middle is bigger and the rest is the 8 roundels contains the name of the previous sultan, while the middle one contains the present sultan. So the tradition of making seals in Aceh came from Mughal India. So they have this 9-fold or 11-fold seal in India, Mughal emperor, that the Acehnese find it fascinating, and they start also producing the same seal. So maybe that's why this type of dish is famous in Indonesia, in Aceh especially. But you can also find this type of this is ninefold roundels in Topkapi Sarayı Museum in Turkey. So but they all have different inscription, different design, but they always have this type of roundel pattern and in this arrangement. While these two are from European, one from England and one from the Dutch. So all these were, sometimes you can find all these Arabic script, but also there's a plates from England or the Dutch that contains pantun. Yeah, they have pantun, and people collecting this as heirloom. In Indonesia, not just heirloom, but they also decorated the mausoleum of the ulama, the religious scholar who passed away. So they would decorate the buildings with porcelain from China and also from European, and also from other countries that they can find. They just put the tiles to decorate the buildings.
This one, right? Was it written by somebody who's not a native writer?
Probably because it
It looks like someone
they just copy just like this one. It's
Yeah.
not really calligraphy. It's not
Yeah.
really like
just
this also.
trying their best to.
But these are made in China, right?
Yes, this is made in China.
But this one, these two, this one is a native one, right? It looks.
I think somebody who's good in
Yeah.
good in calligraphy might be somebody European that who copied this,
Yeah.
or maybe some local. But this one is made in that one is from Netherlands, and this one from England. So yeah, I think somebody who knows, because
Yeah,
this one
the
is
style is
later
very different.
20th century, while this one is 17th century. So people already know how to do and copy things. Yeah.
So these are like decorative only, or people use to makan?
This one too decorative. Probably used for makan.
So
I think this is faded.
It's okay.
I think it's
So maybe
faded.
for
That's why it
healing
looks-
purpose.
It looks like a
Yeah.
AA4.
But sometimes usually for
It's a
decorative. But then of course they could bigger dish like this with the motif of
How do
the
you translate AA4?
crescent moon, which is from the Dutch company. Yeah, that one
You
I
know,
think for it's safer lah.
a good-
They look
a
safer
good,
for putting
fake.
the dish and kuih and all that in Indonesia that time.
That's a code, is it?
No, in Cantonese, when you go Guangzhou to buy all the LV bags, the good ones they're called AA4.
It's fake, but not really. In all front.
Yeah, but you like like when I write Chinese, because I didn't go Chinese school, it looks very kindergartenish. Yeah.
Just see
Yeah.
it in one.
Yeah. So that is the impression I got
practice in
when I look at that it's not a native writer. And also another thing, we have a similar plate in Museum Negara. And the guide told us that is AA4.
The guy that knows.
But Malay Peninsula, not so much.
They're the best of the plates.
So we So here you can find the craftsmanship made in Sumatra and Brunei and also Malay Peninsula. So for instance, these two are from Sumatra region. This known as kendi where you put water. So you can find the Malay element with the pucuk rebun design on the body of the chicken. The top, from this collection you can see like a swan, but another collection from other museum might change different type of birds on the top. So this is the only model that we have. So you can see, if you look at our gallery, metalwork gallery, we have a lot of from Persia and other Islamic countries using animal as motif, as decorative motif. So this is one of the animal decoration kendi. And this one is known as chilepa, the round one. This is where they might put tobacco or the bitter quick. while the rest is for accessories, for cleanliness, and also maybe when they want to prepare betel kueh. And actually this is attached to the bag, but they also on all photos that show they would attach to the handkerchief, big handkerchief, and you put it on the shoulder. Yes, the celepa. And also the Europeans also produce their own celepa, but produced in Batavia. We can show it later. Another thing when Islam came is actually this part. It came from the word the gantang. Gantang from Brunei. It's actually for taxation and also for zakat. The name of the king is this one was prepared during the Sultan Abdul Mumin Ibn Pingiran Shahbandar. He's the quite famous ruler of Brunei, and this item gantang can also be found in Sarawak. So I think around 35 so far that they found when they collect all this. So we have 2 here. And this, when one of the important material that came together when Islam came is actually when the Sultanate became Muslim and they start copying how the tradition in Islamic world, when they use coins. So they also produce their own coins. So the earliest coin so far is from Samudra Pasai and then Aceh, which is northern Sumatra, and then spread all over the Malay Peninsula and also Javanese. Most of them use Arabic scripts, but mentioning the names of the ruler sometimes, and also their title, either Malik Al-Adil or other titles that they use. The title Malik Al-Adil itself is actually foreign, usually Umayyad dynasty or Abbasid dynasty. The king have their own title, so they start copying to show themselves they also a ruler. And they also produce the seal. So to show their own sovereignty, they produce seals and coins. So you can see this is quite a new modern seal that you can also see the same thing in India and Mughal Empire. So all this in Arabic and also in Jawi. So those people who the goldsmith would prepare all the seal. And that might be not Malay, might be some ethnicity who are very good at producing all these scripts. Because it's actually a mixed cosmopolitan Malay world and a lot of people coming in. Or this too, this is known as chapping. It's actually to cover child's modesty, especially the girls. And it's actually similar, the Indians also wear this thing.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, I
see
think
that all the time in Indian
For
religion.
boys or girls?
girls, yeah.
A chastity belt, is it?
Modesty display.
Modesty belt.
Yeah, plate also can. Yeah, it's actually for kids. And in Kelantan, there's a story that the king would wear the gold. The children only the girls will wear the gold one. The commoner will wear the silver one. So this one, of course, in India, called Arumindi or something like that.
Now you may not see it because
Arai Mundi. So this Indian sub.
they just put it on a string and
Yes, and this they might say that it came from during Sriwijaya from India. During that time, only came this culture. And people children in Bugis children would wear this together with a disc as protective. We call it kawari. I can show later. We can see the kawari, the disc. Only the people,
even
kids.
this in this measure that you say Kanta. In Kerala we have it. So actually I'm surprised that when you showed the map, they don't show that Islam came through Malabar and and then came to Aceh. They don't show that at all. They only show in Gujarat. They only show in Gujarat, which is not correct.
Yes. That's why it's my mistake because it's last minute edition. I have 2 days to prepare the map. No, actually it's correct. Kerala is very important in the Malabar.
So important. How can we miss out Malabar?
Yes, because when we prepare that, we prepare based on the object. So that's why we miss Kerala. But Kerala is very important. Malabar, there's a lot of Kerala Indian. Because we don't have the object here, so I totally forget. I'm sorry. Kerala is very interesting place as well. It's very a lot of intellectual came from Kerala, from India, and came from through Malabar, the Malabari. And there's a lot of Malabari community in Malaysia.
And even when Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan ruled southern part of India, they actually conquered part of North Kerala. Malabar is North Kerala. I'm a Malayali from Kerala.
Interesting thing. There will be an exhibition on Tipu Sultan.
Tipu Sultan.
In August until January next year. Yes.
The Oman guy.
Yes.
The Oman guy. Sultan Tipu is Oman.
Mysore, India. Mysore, India.
Because he fought the British.
Yes.
He was such a hero.
That one will be in August until
End of the year.
August until January next year. So you should count because there's a lot of canon.
I will ask you to do a tour.
I think that is not my project.
Not your project.
So
You'll get the
I
person.
might give the wrong thing, wrong information. But of course I have to study later on. But it's quite interesting exhibition. There's a lot of material from British that we get to
That
display.
will get a lot because it came out much later. Middle Ages, not so ancient.
Yes, and there's a lot from the British.
So you have artifacts upstairs?
Yeah, we have Tipu Sultan artifacts upstairs in the Arms and Armor Gallery.
Oh, okay.
But we have more to come.
Okay.
For the sake of the exhibition, focusing on Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, but Tipu Sultan is the major person. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
This gantang is from Brunei.
From Brunei.
There's also gantangs from Kedah.
There is, but without any royal seal.
Oh, you need the I see.
Without any royal seal, just a normal
So you
gantang.
bring this is for zakat.
Usually for taxation actually.
So the ones
Because Brunei conquered Sarawak before British came, so they distribute all this for the people paying taxation.
so you it's padi, it's to measure padi.
Probably for padi.
So
It's also gantang is or other material, but so far it's actually for
other material
taxation.
could be.
Yes.
Oh, it's just
But usually for when you talk about gantang, it's already referred to padi.
Oh, yeah. So I'm wondering Brunei doesn't have padi, right?
I'm not sure that time, but it's actually for taxation. So the whole Sarawak definitely got padi.
Oh, I see.
Even the Japanese came also, they want to find rice before Japanese came and colonized. They went to Sabah to find padi.
Oh, is it?
They need padi to survive. So yeah.
This one is like the goose on top. Is it like the Indian hamsa? So you have the goose, like they have like a god, or is it a Buddhist?
Oh no! This is just a cup.
Just a cup.
Yeah.
So there's no like
No goddess
referencing a
No, that
goddess.
one we can see later. No, this one. This one more creative
a
thing
lamb
that they want to
creative.
express themselves as, you know,
They do
like
like
it looks
gifts.
maybe.
That's interesting point. The Hamsa is very
Yeah, and the lights, right? Yeah.
and he's got a lot of Buddhist elements as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially the.
You can see at the Srabat there's a over there. That one I will show you. That one has the story of Buddhist element. More Hindu lah. More Hindu.
There are artifacts that the museum specifically bought. Are there anything here the museum specifically bought at the road?
The gap yok lah.
Oh, just that bought that.
It's not easy to find material from Malay world.
Oh no, that's
It's not easy. Malay world and China.
That must have cost a lot of money.
Ada gap yok. So with G at the end, we spell with K. Yes. So here we have Hikayat Hang Tuah. This one belongs to Sir Francis Wadaham. And Prof Unku Aziz, the late Prof Unku Aziz got it back from England. That he bought it back from Sir Francis Wadaham. He asked someone to copy these manuscripts from Raja Mahdi collection, Raja Mahdi of Selangor. So they were friends, so then they copied. So there's a tradition of copying manuscripts during British time in Malaya and in Malaya. Also in Batavia in Indonesia, they have their own scriptorium where they started copying manuscripts. The Dutch will start copying manuscripts, asking people, paying people to copy manuscripts. Mostly are hikayat and religious manuscripts. But majority on the literature works of the people of this Malay Peninsula and also in Indonesia. So here it's written in Jawi, and you can find this copy has a poem at the back to summarize the whole thing. And this page this one is very unique because these were written for Sir Francis Wadaham, but it was read by other royal family of Pahang as well. When they read and they start circulating to read the piece. But in the end, Sir Wadaham, this is the copy that we have.
So there are other copies.
This is the original copy, original work that belongs to Sir Wadaham. But at the front, meaning that somebody already read this before.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
But at that time, printing press is already available, right?
It's expensive.
Oh.
It's expensive, and people are still writing more manuscripts compared to printing press. The printing press were brought by missionaries, especially Malacca. So they bought Malacca in Singapore. So they use lithograph printing style, and then when the Quran, for instance, they got the script. They use the same technique as the missionary used, and they bought the machine from the missionaries. But the script style is written by the local people. But the pattern might be copied from the Indian or also by the local people. So you can see the printing press of the Quran. Yeah. So it was Singapore, Malacca, Penang, and Palembang was important places for early printing press.
From Sri Lanka also, right? The first Malay newspaper was from Sri Lanka.
Yes, Langkah Puri, Alamat. Yes, the earliest newspaper in Sri Lanka, but we don't have it here. So for instance, here this is the printing, early printing Quran. So the script writer might came from the east coast of Malay Peninsula, from Terengganu, while this one usually produced in this type of Quran were produced in Singapore. But there's a lot of strong Terengganu element. The binding itself, the binding of the Quran is made in Terengganu style, and also by the Terengganu. This is known as Terengganu style book binding. So you can find gold and usually maroon or reddish leather. While this design also following the style of Terengganu, but the Islamic element is actually taken from Ottoman or even India. The Mustana, the mirror image of the Prophet's name, you can see Muhammad here and another Muhammad here. So it's that decorative purpose for this page. While this one, the script writing is totally different than that one. So it might be copied from the Ottoman or even from India, because India, Quran produced in India, Bombay, especially Bombay, and also Singapore were printed and sell. A lot of them sold in Malay Peninsula and Singapore and Indonesia. But the first Quran produced in Malay world is actually Indonesia, where he came back from Mecca and he brought the printing press from a missionary, and then he asked people who knows calligraphy go to Palembang and help him prepare the Quran in Palembang. And at that time, you know Abdullah Munshi, he's also a scribe, so that he also contribute to the getting introducing people to him to produce all this Quran at that time.
So beautiful.
Yeah, this one is very colorful.
Yeah. No mistakes at all.
Because it's printing. Right. The writing one you cannot mistake. Sometimes when the surah is not in, for example, they put 4 lines for one verses, and then suddenly there's not enough space. They put the verse in the title. You know, in the Quran, this is the title. So suddenly you have 4 lines.
As an afterthought, they put in the title.
Because usually they will prepare the table first.
Yes.
So they will prepare the table, all this outline first, and then they fill in the text. And then later on they will decorate. Tak cukup. And then suddenly the title is Surah Al-Fatihah, and then suddenly and there's a verse in the middle, and Surah Al-Fatihah, and then this is Surah something else from Mecca and Medina. Because the title of the surah is usually, they will mention the origin of the surah, because the surah, when God sent to Prophet Muhammad, it either came to Mecca or Medina. So if they will mention the place where it came down.
So this was the first.
This is not the first Quran.
Not the first.
We don't have the first Quran here.
And that one?
That one also is not the first. The first printed Quran, you mean?
Yeah.
The first printed Quran is Indonesia.
So when were these two made?
This one is late 19th century.
And that one?
Similar. Because most of our Quran that survive, or any manuscript that survive, is usually until earlier 20th century, before it declined and we don't have more production.
Paper doesn't last that long.
No. In Southeast Asia, no, most of it. Yes, we don't
Very
have.
hot and humid.
Humidity destroy. You can see the cause of humidity here. This is the Quran from during the Sultan of Madinah Omar. You can see the impact of weather to this Quran. You can see the ink is start expanding. So maybe few years later, you cannot even find all this anymore. It will destroy. So most of even our collection or any other collection in Southeast Asia, we have this the same similar problem with the gall ink, because the material that they use, the gall ink, contains zinc and ferrum. All these thing chemical reaction eating the paper. Yeah. So some
it corrodes the paper.
it corrodes the paper. So this one will it's look like burning. So at the end there's nothing here. Only this might survive. This might survive because there's no gall ink used here.
So the preservation people can't do anything.
They can't do anything because there's a lot of technique.
Laminate it.
It looks like there's another layer of script underneath.
Yes, it's actually at the
Oh,
behind.
is that the other page?
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
okay.
This is made for a rich family, is it?
This one. Actually,
Yeah,
this
it
one
looks
probably
very
made-
expensive.
Yeah.
But it's not made for an imam or a
no.
mosque.
This one made for the Sultan of Terengganu.
Oh.
Because Sultan of Terengganu, he always requests people during that time to produce Quran.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's also one of the earliest states, isn't it? To
Yes.
produce the Quran in Malaya.
Yes. Because
Show like the Terengganu was renowned for this.
yes. Because you cannot find Kedah or any other state produce Quran.
Not even Malacca.
Not even Malacca. Only the East Coast is very important when it comes to Malay culture, like Kelantan, Terengganu, and also southern part of Thailand, because it was a part of Malay Peninsula or Malay Kingdom.
Langkah Suka.
Yeah, you know that. So the Patani also produce their own Quran, the ulama. The religious scholar, because they have schools. We call it pondok schools, and it's not just to learn religion, also to learn art. So that's why they produce the imam, because some of the book they will mention the name, but unfortunately you cannot find all the last pages or the colophon pages mentioning the name. For example, this one only mention the date, not the name of the person who write or even or even illuminate the page. Yeah. Not sure. So we only know, yes.
So every pages got frame.
Good question. No. Only the first, the middle, the first and the back.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
But
one also what?
that one is,
The frame.
it depends.
Because that one is manually drawn, the frame.
The
not
one is-
printed. The frames looks manually drawn.
Oh, that
not
one is printed.
Is it?
Yeah,
The frame
maybe
is
the color. Oh, that one is not normally drawn.
The outline looks like hand drawn, not printed.
That one, maybe lah. For my own understanding, is printed. The whole thing is printed.
Actually, how do we differentiate? Can we differentiate between printing and handwritten?
We look at the microscope. There's a magnifying glass.
You know, I study design, I can see.
Yeah, she's good eye. You don't have?
By hand.
Yeah?
This one is
Huh?
like printed. The painting maybe by hand, but the
This one's not.
lines, you can see it's very constant. Every flower is the same.
Yes, but
And
they
that
are
is
very good
printed.
at, because the one who produce it are wood covers as well. So they are very precise.
Accurate.
Accurate.
Accuracy.
Or they
Yeah.
have template already.
Because you can find the similar way, a similar pattern over there, but different pattern. But they do their best to maintain the symmetry.
Yeah, symmetry.
Wait,
Yes.
so you're saying this part is printed, but this part is written?
No, for me, everything is written,
Oh,
not
everything
printed.
is written.
Yes, not printed.
This one is drawn.
Is there any reason why you turn to this page?
Because got frame.
Just the one with
Just,
the
because this is the middle surah.
Oh,
The whole
middle.
30 juzuk. This is the middle one.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
rest of the pages has no decorative
No,
border,
no,
just
text.
the
Just the
lah.
text. Only text. But for the title, sometimes they decorate each chapter. They decorate the title.
I see.
Yeah. So this is
It's a very,
Terengganu.
very thick book.
This one hand drawn.
Yeah. That one for another one from Terengganu, but different design and different calligraphy.
So these are used by who?
Usually for rulers when they request, yeah. Because most of them are villages and they are the one who produce. You know, like in Terengganu or Kelantan, those artists are actually live in their own house and make their own art. So similar to this of Terengganu Quran. So this one already being restored, but the calligraphy is totally different than that one. That one is actually for you. This one has a name of a person. I don't remember the name of the person. Not mentioned, yeah. So, but the rest is not. There's no mentioning about any names. So you can find this is Terengganu, while that one is from Patani. The size is smaller. Patani Quran usually that type of size, exercise book size. And most of them using European papers. So you can find watermarks from the Dutch or from the British papers or from even from Italy that they brought back from Mecca. See, this one also you can find the gold ink. So maybe or how to say important people. Yeah. Well, this is quite. This is not from Malay world. This is from Turkey, Ottoman Turkey, that reached Malay world. Probably Terengganu because the binding, the red binding is actually from Terengganu. So they took out the binding, or maybe it arrived without the binding, so it attached with the Terengganu. Very beautiful. This is quite unique as well from Patani. Usually Patani pattern of Quran is this type of style. So when you look each region, there's a certain style, then you can see, oh, this is Terengganu, this is Sulawesi, but they also cannot determine because it's mixture with both. Like for example, this one has Patani for this page, but the border is like Terengganu. So you can, so that's why colophon is very important to determine the real origin of the manuscripts.
Colophon?
The colophon is actually at the end of the book. You mention the name of the person and the date. But usually we don't have it in Malay world, so we rely on the illumination. Yeah. So that one, the case over there is from Java. So Java is quite unique, especially from Sulawesi and Aceh, because this is the trademark. This is from Aceh and this is from Sulawesi.
Wow.
So they are already a template that we see and we can recognize. Terengganu, this is Aceh, and this is Sulawesi. Sulawesi you can find it in Philippines, even though it's called Sulawesi Quran because it's originated from Sulawesi, but the Quran is distributed everywhere. In Sulawesi you can find, in Mindanao you can find, in Kedah, which is now the Quran is in Riau. Yeah, well, this is quite interesting from Cirebon. Here you can find two elements of Terengganu. You can find the gunungan pattern, which is the 1, 2, 3, like the mountainous pattern, and there's a Patani pattern in the borders, like teardrop patterns. Usually Patani are very known for the teardrop patterns. So while this Quran, instead of the rest are only 3 pages, like 3 illumination pages, this one got 5. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. Yeah.
So they are all opened at the illumination pages.
Yes, and usually the illumination pages is only the first surah, the opening page. In Southeast Asia or Malaya, we have 3 pages. Some Quran in other countries might have only the first pages and the last. Yeah, not in the middle even. Yeah.
It's not just one person's work. I mean, someone would be
Someone would, yes. It's like that in the Islamic tradition. Yeah.
Usually when there's a printing, how many copies is there run?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that one, how many copies they run. This one, the gunungan. This one is more Javanese. I'm not sure the names, but it's Javanese has their own illumination style. Yeah, so this is one of the example from Java. If you go up to gallery, there's another version of from Java as well, but different style. So it depends on the person and the artist. So you can see this decorative element, they use calligraphy, La ilaha illallah, and you can see the scroll, the cloud scroll, in the triangle.
Where's the cloud?
See? The white one.
Oh.
Yeah. The cloud scroll. Mega Mendung, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Mega Mendung. Cirebon I know it's Mega Mendung, but this one I'm not sure from which part of Indonesia. So we just assume Java because there's no names or yeah. There's even in manuscripts, the illumination, for example, the cloud scroll came another version of manuscript with a human face. So the white thing you can see the eye and oh no, so far no. I think it's haram already. You want to read the So yeah, and so this is a textile development in Sumatra, and in Aceh you can find the Chinese element, dulu weddings, and when they put out the bed chamber, for instance, but they're still maintaining the Islamic calligraphy of La ilaha illallah. There's no God but Allah, and Prophet Muhammad is the messenger. but there's the element of animals to decorate, meaning probably has auspicious signs for the newly married couple, you know. So, but the material is quite interesting. The style of stitching, embroidery is similar from Aceh, and this one in Palembang, Sumatra. So this is you can find to say inspired from the Isra Mi'raj where Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven, and this is the imaginary burak, the horse that Prophet Muhammad ride to go to heaven. So you look at the manuscripts in the Quran gallery, there's 2 manuscripts, you can see how they depicted Prophet Muhammad. They cover the face and riding, while Prophet Muhammad is riding the horse, and there's a lot of angels in the literature section of Quran and manuscript gallery. Here there's no Prophet Muhammad, only burak, represented by burak. And this is the Sidra Muntaha, the tree, and yeah, it's going to heaven. And this is the mosque in Indonesia that they
The
but,
shape also.
yes, but you can find how they embroidered this embroidery style is very unique. That you can see zigzag, and sometimes it resembles the songket style pattern. If you look closer, you can find like diamond shape.
Geometrical.
Yeah, it's not really just simply embroid the textile. This is felt as quite modern. It's not satin, it's felt.
This was done when?
Palembang in 20th century.
Wow, very beautiful.
The flower itself.
Oh, the flower itself.
The plant.
I think it's not really indigenous, it's more imaginary, the creativity of the person. Yeah. But
I was thinking it looks like the Scottish thistle, you know.
maybe the flip, is it?
The flower, of course the thistle looks like all the spikes, you know.
Yeah,
Just
ada.
at first glance it just
Probably.
gives the impression.
Maybe they got influence or inspiration.
Embroidery.
Yes. Oh, this one? Oh, this one from Sasak, or from Sasak people. From Sasak, yes, Sasak in Lombok. So if you look at Sasak traditional embroidery, they will has the picture of sampan with shape. Yeah, but this one is they use the calligraphy, but it's actually inverted calligraphy. Maybe they made a mistake. But they still remain the culture of Sasak people by inserting the human being and the plant. You can find this type of thing in they call it tampan, if I'm not mistaken, the textile. The textile
The
of
Lombok
Sasak.
area.
The Lombok area and embroidery. Yeah. We only have this. If that one is beautiful, you can find the Lombok or Sasak embroidery is very beautiful. And they always use that same color. And these two are actually textile that this one we call it kain pelangi, produced in Sumatra. We also have batik pelangi produced in Malay Peninsula. That one already in the Malay World Gallery. So you can find the motif similar to the paisley or botek in India and also in Persia. Yeah, nampak similar. Yeah. They use tie dye, meaning they just tie and then.
Not the gold leaf.
No, this is all synthetic or natural. Yeah, mostly a synthetic.
What do you say this is?
Bote.
Oh, what's that?
It's actually referred to paisley.
Paisley.
Paisley is a type of flower in design. Usually you found in India and also in Persia.
Parsley, you mean?
No, paisley is like that. And my joy is bad.
See what you mean by
It's something like that. The pattern.
No, I will Google for you. Okay.
Terlampau berwarna-warni, so it's like very colourful. So they
So
call it
it's not because the kind was used for certain things lah.
Oh no. Actually, there's a picture of him just wearing a shawl.
Okay.
But the kain batik pelangi, the one in the Malay gallery that we just display, is actually just one color, pink color. That one is a picture of old lady in the royal family wearing as a sarung. Yeah. This one is Sumatra.
This one with the Allah terbalik was a mistake.
Probably a mistake or probably has some other
Maybe they
meaning.
don't want you to understand the message.
because
Usually if it's terbalik, it's a curse, right?
I'm not sure. If you a mistake, then mistake lah.
It's kind of a big mistake today.
But actually only this piece. There are another piece that is already is okay. Maybe he just started to learn and then mistake. Yeah, this is kain ikat lima. So there's a lot of variety of ikat lima with various pattern. This is calligraphic pattern. They also ikat lima with songkit pattern, but we don't display it here. You can go to Museum Textile, they have a lot of kain lima. So you can find all this Islamic calligraphy, the name of Allah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Huwa. Huwa referring to Allah, He, with a capital letter H. So all these are just to invoke her protectiveness, either when maybe they use it to wear as a shawl or as a headgear for the people in Sumatra. And here is another type of probably protective, but usually in Sumatra and also in Java, you can see all picture by those in Leiden. There's a lot of picture showing a man would wear this as headgear, and this is just the name of the Prophet. And this got inspiration from the firman of the Ottoman Empire, or the Tugra. We call it this Tugra, the signature of the Ottoman Emperor. Well, the rest is just the name of the Prophet.
Looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Love
We
it.
have a lot of there's also a pseudo calligraphy in the textile gallery showing batik bersurat. So sometimes they would wear this usually as a headgear by Minangkabau people. The headgear is totally different, the tie different. Yes.
This thing is what meaning?
This one Tugra. I'm not sure the name of this. The name of the ruler. This is upside down. The real one is like this. Yes. Yeah. But this one different name than that name. It's not the same. We just want to show. Yeah, Tugra. So yes. So yeah, this all about it. So okay, of course, everyone knows lah.
She said these names,
So get pattern.
but she says a different name from that name.
The kelingkan here.
Very beautiful, it's gorgeous.
The technique called kelingkan. And there's also a technique called keringkam. The keringkam is in by Sarawakian. They use different style. Keringkam, how to say, you measure the thread before they put the metal thread. This one just really, yeah. Or this one might come from Terengganu, of Songkit of Terengganu.
This one is a bit like, where's the bling?
The bling.
Yeah, I mean, what's like all the dripping gold jewelry? Like, it's quite like plain.
That one we just show this. This way. We just want to highlight the textile, not the bling.
Okay, and it's all for same baju kurung. Is this?
The baju kurung.
It's all the same baju kurung.
If you do Teluk Belanga, because I'm not sure how to Teluk Belanga. I'm not very good at
okay.
Malay textile. So I just want to show the pattern, like that one, campur ke semak, that you can see later on. I'm show you how they develop. But mostly this one is I think it's royal, the royal family also. So when people came, this waistcoat, for example, they brought this. Sometimes every year we will change the kiswah inside the Kaabah. The outside one is the black one, but the inside one there are two colors. Sometimes green, sometimes red. So the red one they would change once a year. Similarly with the outside one. So when they might sell the pieces or they might give it as a gift. So these from the pieces of the kiswah they would turn it into waistcoat. Similar to the Ottoman, not just Malay world. The Ottoman also would, transform that into maybe as a waistcoat for men to wear or for kids to wear. And this is another waistcoat that when people travel to Hajj, they start dressing like what people over there would dress. They would start wearing the robe and a jacket, and sometimes with a headgear. But the headgear sometimes not like a turban, like we see people in the Middle East would wear. They would like just normal turban that people in the South Asia would wear. So this has also Islamic calligraphy to mean protectiveness, to protect someone when travel abroad. Nasrun min Allah, meaning help from God, threat from Allah. Well, this tree, this is the oldest poetry, puisi or syair from Malay world. This is our copy. We have few copies in Leiden, one copy and a few others. The title is Syair Mekah and Madinah. So here, the original writer named Syekh Daud from Sunur, Minangkabau, where he traveled to Mecca and he wrote this so to ask people at that time to travel to Mecca and do Hajj. Even though it's hard because this time during the Dutch colonization, so they restricted people to go to Mecca because they're afraid they come back with a new ideology. Because at this time, there's already war between this religious scholar among themselves, and then they themselves fight with the Dutch.
Padri war.
Yeah, Padri War. So they have this war, and these guys came from region where the fighting during the Padri War. But he tried to incite people to go to Hajj, and by telling people as well how the shape, the architecture of Masjidil Haram look like. So he would say the minarets as tall as the coconut tree, and they have to travel from Jeddah to Mecca by riding a camel, and the camel is not as big. The camel is smaller than our elephant. So he mentioned that so that people can imagine how Arabic land supposed to be, and the fruits there are nice. They have those all these fruit. You have to go to the market. There's a lot of fruits, a lot of honey and tamar and dates. And he also mentioned how to do your Hajj and how to do your Umrah, and how the kings during this time they have this Mahmal parade. So he told them about the Mahmal parade, how the king from the Rome, which is the Ottoman, how the ruler from the Sham, which is Damashq, and also Egypt. So these three places, the Ottoman, Damashq, and Sham. So all these the Mahmal parade, for example, we don't have it anymore after Uthmaniyah replaced by the Saudi. So it's not an old tradition. Yeah.
So all this is written in poetry form?
Yes, Syair.
To share, and this is dated when?
This our copy is around 19th century to 20th. But he passed away around 18 something. So he must be written around 1890 or something like that. He passed away quite early during 18th century. I mean, 19th century.
This one,
Yeah.
Can it be worn by anybody or only royalty or like a religious person?
I think it's for those who went to Mecca only.
Oh.
Yeah, those who own this, not necessarily royalty. Those who own this, yeah. There's no.
Because it's quite sacred, right?
Yes, because of it came from Kiswa and the Islamic verses. Yeah, but since you're mentioning about royal family in the collection, so people who get that, and it's not a lot of pieces here. For example, we have one, Museum Negara might have two.
Do we have?
Different. It's not
Different. It's not exactly like this, but it comes from.
I saw the
Oh yeah,
black,
there's another one in gallery, right?
the black one is at the Shah Alam Palace,
Ah.
right? We saw it last year when we went. The very long one.
I see.
Mm.
The one in Museum Negara is the red one. The one I remember.
correct.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Gallery B.
B. Okay.
You know, after opposite the tombstone.
Oh. Okay. Next time I'll pay attention.
So this is another work of art by the not Malay actually. He's from Sumbawa. So this is Indonesia. So when I mentioned just now,
so
those who
nice.
went to Mecca and Madinah also learn art. So this person named Ibrahim Al-Furusi, he studied calligraphy. So this calligraphy is his work, while the illumination probably somebody else. This is known as the late Ottoman art. It's not really that is an example of the late Ottoman art. So because Ottoman has their own art from early period until the late Ottoman, where they use a lot of floral motif and roses and tulips. Yes. So this is written, we call it Istanbul calligraphy because it's under Ottoman style.
It's so
calligraphy.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Very
This is
big and
Look
clear.
at the strokes.
This is called Kitab Maulid, where you recite during Prophet birthday. Yeah. So the illumination all late Ottoman period. While the text, this is the calligraphy is not Istanbul. While the small letters is not known as Istanbul calligraphy. It's actually a Jawi text written by him to make people so that people can understand the translation.
Oh, you mean
small
the big
text is translation.
Yes.
the big one is Arabic and the small one is Jawi.
Yes, yes.
So macam subtitle.
Ya, betul. Sebab tak pandai semua.
The same guy who writes this, is that the same guy who paints this?
Probably not,
Different.
because he's known as a calligrapher.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this one must be by Ottoman artists who are very good producing. Because Egypt, Ottoman, Egypt, Mecca and Medina, center of art at that time, were under Emperor.
Y'all
the
bought
Ottoman
this, is it?
So would you know, like, I mean, there's so much hard work involved. Usually, how many years does it take to complete a book?
That's a good question. I think probably more than less than a year definitely for this, because not everything got illumination.
Still a year is quite fast.
Yeah. Because to write is not maybe one person. Maybe it's quite easy for him just to write. But illumination might take longer. Yeah.
But if they are professional, they can draw it very fast.
Yeah. I think 1 hour if they are good.
Wow. Maybe lah.
The fastest Quran producing job. I need all these roses and colors.
Writing is faster when you want to decorate, because this is the beginning of there are a few pages with illumination. This one not like Quran. Yeah. Quran only what?
When you say illumination, what do you mean by that?
They illuminating the pages. They
Okay.
beautifying the pages. Ni calligraphy the text. So illuminate and only decorating lah. Beautifying the object. Yeah.
This rose is a symbol of the
A prophet symbol. They call it the Uthmaniyah or the Ottoman have this idea of Prophet Muhammad is as beauty as the rose. Yeah. Some of the books they will mention this is the Prophet Muhammad, and the leaves is actually his companions. Abu Bakar, Umar, Uthman, his companions.
Oh, that's why there are five leaves.
So his image.
He had 5 companions, right?
This rose got no thorns on it.
No.
He's the prophet.
You already remove already.
no girls. Yeah.
It's not very painful. So when you talk about people movement, the translate, how to say the visual art lah. Oh, this one. Oh, I totally forgot about this too. This is the coffin cover, and when people go there, they bought it as a merchandise. This is made by Mahmud. Is it his name? Mahmud Al-Muazzin by request of Wan Aminah. So the name of Wan Aminah is usually from the east coast of Malay Peninsula. So you can find here the 3 important mosques, the Masjid Al-Haram, you can find Baitul Muqaddis over there, and also the Prophet Mosque. They also mention the places, Makkah Al-Mukarramah, Marina, and also Baitul Muqaddis. And this one represents the afterlife, the sizes, and also the scale to measure your. I'm not sure how it represents. I don't remember. And this is the Kaabah and the Mimbar. The rest is just verses. Yes,
The name Wan Aminah around here.
yes,
Oh,
yeah. Wan Aminah.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Where? Which one?
Yeah, Wan Aminah.
So she. This is for when she passed away to cover her coffin.
She didn't say lah.
Oh,
But
oh wow! She bought it and commissioned it all
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
She must be very important.
yes. I don't know how we get, yeah.
I heard that if you go to certain batik shops, or is it batik shops in Kelantan, Trengganu, you have to request for these specific, like they keep in stock in case you need it. Especially if a royal passes away, they need a very cantik one.
So they keep it template, so then they.
This is from Singapore. This one printing. From printing press.
It's very straight.
Yeah lah. And there's a lot of copy, not only here. In India also got the same copy. Yeah.
This one they sell is what?
This one they sell.
It's a painting.
Replica.
Just this like a replica at that time.
Like
They
their
usually
poster
have,
lah.
like a poster to hang in the house lah. Usually in the Malay house you can find
Yeah,
this
you
as,
will have one.
yeah, and sometimes you can find clock in the middle. So as a decorative. So this is the old image of the Kaabah and also the Prophet Mosque. Masjid Al-Haram, sorry. Now it's different. This one long time ago. Now they only what 1, 2. There are 7 minarets. So during Ottoman. So there's a tradition of copying manuscripts and also the art from there. So you can, this is Dar el-Kharat. So the contents is the same. It's just that the art, the concept of the art are the same. It's just that people from the region will include their own style. You can see Kaabah here and Kaabah here. You can see also the Fatima's garden here and also the Fatimah gardens there. The concept is still the same, just by different artists. So similarly to these manuscripts, this one is from the Ottoman period as well, and the other two from Malay world. So the content is not the same, but they want to deliver the message of the art of afterlife. So you can find the scale to measure your good and bad, and you can find all this. For example, that one is about the importance of praying. So you have to pray, and why you need to pray, so that to avoid you going to hell. So things like that lah. They start producing, maintain. And we can go to the next.
That's not the one that the tiara, the
This map is quite interesting because it's the bigger version. You can find this one Indian archipelago during the European colonization. You can find the Spanish are that color, so each colors represent the colonizers. But I would just want to highlight two things from this map. Then where they highlighted the Cliffs Island and the Sandalwood Island. So you can find the Cliffs Island somewhere here in Maluku Island. So it just like when the Dutch came early, the earlier map of the Dutch highlighted the importance of Maluku, and this person also write something about Cliff Island here. While here in Sumbawa, Sandalwood Island. So the British producer of this
is Sumbawa.
Sumbawa and Cliffs Island, which is in Maluku.
So what was the importance of Sumbawa? Sandalwood.
Sandalwood.
Oh.
So produce sandalwood for trades. And this is Cliff. Of course, Maluku is known until today. It's Cliff's producing.
Clubs and trees still there.
Yes, they are still producing.
Visit.
Yeah.
You mean the Rune Island? Rune, R-U-N. Is that the one where they swap with New York?
This one Manhattan and another
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Is that the one they swap with Rune?
Rune Island.
What is that?
That's where they had the clove, right?
Yes.
So that's the one lah.
Not Sumbawa. That one is
No, that one.
I think it's another place in Indonesia. Is it Manhattan changed?
Yeah.
But they make a mistake. They realize they made a mistake.
No, they didn't make a mistake.
Really?
At that time, Manhattan is worth nothing.
But the mistake is if they had waited. That one is like very
Only in hindsight.
Then New York was British. No, Dutch. And then when it became British, New York. Look at this map, Indian archipelago.
Yeah.
which is not correct.
So this is just our collection of show all the spices are, but the most important is the spices. In mace, nutmeg and cloves. Mace is very important in Banda Nira. Because the Dutch conquer Banda Nira and almost kill everyone just to monopolize the trades in Banda Nira. So even if you have chance to go to Indonesia, they still producing cloves and mace. In Maluku and Banda Nira, they're very known for that. Compared to Malay Peninsula, we are not producing things, we are just collecting. We're just collecting.
What's painting?
An Indian artist.
It's not from Singapore.
No. This one
Friends of modern one is contemporary.
No, this one.
This is company school. Similar time as Papuha started collecting his own company school botanical images, paintings. This one under Mughal in India. Yeah. So this one just to show you Jawa, Asal Jawa. Yeah.
No, because I'm just wondering who the just the drawing.
The drawing by Indian artists we do. Not sure about that.
Because in Singapore Botanical Gardens, it's my friend who's doing all,
No. This one is but in Calcutta, India, around that.
Oh, okay.
1800.
Okay.
Yes.
Still looks so vibrant after 200 years. Looks so vibrant after 200 years. Huh?
Almost reached the end. Not yet. So this is the we dedicate this for the Mindanao people. You can see this is representing Philippines. This is the Kitab Maulid. Just now you can see the illumination of the late Ottoman. This is traditional decorative element of the Mindanao people in the southern Philippines. You can see the word Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is written as if the word represent the sari manok, the mythical animal, the mythical chicken or rooster of the Mindanao people. And here is known as Kurap Akulang, which is the body male of the of the people in Mindanao. And always, I think in the whole Malay Peninsula, only they produce such body male, chain male that you can find. other region we cannot find so far. Only this only Mindanao people. So you can see this
Spanish,
one.
right?
It looks Spanish the chain yes, but the Spanish one is like macam bulky sikit.
Yeah. There's another.
And this one open here. The one I'm not sure is it open front or the back. This is not as bad. It's actually from Carabao.
Bone.
Yes, from the horn of the Carabao tanduk. And this pattern is known as okir, which is inspired from the wood carving of the Mindanao and the Tausug, where they decorate with fern leaf, and that one bitanul, which represents the star, the bintang. And this is known as barong. Usually they come together with the body chainmail, and also the similar text of the Quranic verses as protective, similar just now the jacket. So yeah, this is quite old, but a lot of this in Philippines, in Spain, and also in Portuguese museums. You can find online. Yeah.
Mesti ada benda-benda.
This is the king of Sita, Flores Island. So, and he's not a Muslim, he's a Christian. That he got the helmet, the pesiki from a Portuguese. So the Portuguese came to trade and they start exchanges material. And this is the king of Sika. That the pesiki became a heirloom. So each after one king they would transfer to the ruler. And this is another type of pesiki that locally made for the people in the region, the Maluku region, for soldiers and also for dancers. It's not really for the king. So the shape is actually showing Portugal type of helmet, not Spanish one. This is known as Stinger. Stinger is a rifle. Sumatra produce a lot of rifle, and they start, people from Malay Peninsula would buy quietly, discreetly, to avoid any persecution from the colonization at that time, from the Dutch or from the British. But you can see the motif are very flower motif. The motif you can see floral here, and this is like the star anise. So it's locally made with a locally floral pattern. Yes. There I will show you how when the Dutch came, the case over there. When the Dutch came, they also
Fashion also changed.
Yeah, fashion. Also they learn to adopt themselves as a Dutch East Indies. So you can see the beetle box there, made of the tortoise shell. And the pattern actually has a Chinese Peranakan influence. And they would bring the beetle box to the church. So the ladies over there would, they start chewing beetle leaves. They start embracing the culture.
Yeah, Tupperware.
Tupperware. That's not for food.
Fancy Tupperware.
Well, that would be nice to have fancy Tupperware nowadays. And this is the Celapa. You can see just now Celapa for Sumatra. This is the Celapa with Chinese Peranakan and also European influence. You can see the horseshoe. You can see other animals as birds. If you could look closer.
The Tukang didn't mind having like Christian symbols.
Because the tukang is Chinese Peranakan usually from the Batavia. Even the filigree is actually mostly Chinese. Even though there are filigree by Sumatran Malays, but this produced in Batavia. Mostly people migrated because before the Dutch came, the Chinese came first to Batavia. Okay? So they only start the artisan and everything. Yeah. Even after the Dutch colonization, the Dutch became photographer. Also the Chinese from Hampton they opened their own studio to I know they already had the Chinese already has the photo studio in Hampton. Yeah. So they came. I think that one is like 19th century when he got that kind of photo. Yeah, even Christian I don't remember his name. He's very famous photographer in Minang region in Sumatra. He has his own studio, so all the officers they would take picture. They own the Dutch. British or not? This one is just to show the connection of the connection. Because Raja Saleh was an important artist, one of the greatest artists.
It's not the
No. Raja Saleh was an artist who made painting for the European. Yeah. So he's the earliest one that came up with this type of painting. Yes.
Is it hunting.
Yeah, there's a hunting scene. Oh, yes, a lot of painting.
Oh, is it?
Singa.
Singa.
Yes. Lion. Yes, a lot of painting. You can find it Smithsonian online. Oh, yeah. Yes. And this is another, we call it perisai or buckler. There are two materials here, wood and also the tembaga, the brass. And this is very small. You can see the image here. Just sort of like easy holding and with the
Must be heavy though.
Oh, this one is not that heavy.
Not that heavy.
Not that heavy. The heavy
It's to
one.
protect yourself lah.
Yeah, it's actually for protection, but it looks
The
so
spear
small.
can't have to.
This time there's no more spear, I think.
Guns.
Guns. Yeah. But of course they have other weapons, especially the keris and kelewang. They have their own weapon, that one. But of course at this time during the Dutch were fighting with Aceh a lot because they want to colonize Aceh. So there's a lot of Javanese and soldiers who came to work together with the Dutch.
To try and push them.
Yeah. So this is the traditional outfit of Aceh. They always wear this type of hat. Even now. And it's actually inspired by the fest of the Ottoman.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's how there's even a mosque with the similar shape of the hat in Aceh. Yes.
Did we talk about it last week?
Who?
Professor from NUS. Talk about Aceh Mosque, right?
Yes. But I don't see him show. Because it's quite modern. I've been to the mosque, so it's like the shape of the hat. Yes.
You mean the big mosque?
There's no. Baitur Rahman. There's another mosque. Yeah, Baitur Rahman is more
Umbrellas.
With the umbrella is quite modern. They're more Mughal like or Iron Dome style. Indo-Saracen style.
Where is that mosque?
It's quite near the area. I don't remember because I just
I've been
walked.
to Aceh, I didn't see it.
Because I just walked to find food. So
Okay.
so this is mosque.
I went all over Aceh.
I just
Is it the influence of Ottoman?
yes, and the fact because Aceh has huge things on the Ottoman. They always ask for help from the letters and everything. This is to highlight what the Dutch produced, colonial knowledge, meaning they always copying and studying the manuscript, so they become fascinated with the language, with the culture. So this is the most important, one of the most important literature. Besides Hikayat Hang Tuah is Taj al-Salatin. This has influence of the Persian text actually, how to become a king, how to rule a government, things like that. So this guy named Rulda, he's very famous. This is two of his works. He translate. So in this book there's a Jawi and he translates into Dutch. This book, which is printed in Batavia. This one, he translated the Malay hikayat of Raja Ibrahim of Iraq into Java. So here it has two contents. So one is the story of Raja Ibrahim. Another one is the Javanese law as well, called Niti Sastra. So to rule government. So this is all printed version. This one, Batavia Wallace. So we just want to highlight how he came and worked together with the locals to come up with more knowledge on the animals and the collecting. So he highlighted people like Ali, Badrun, who helped him in this project. Yeah. So we talked about songket just now. When you saw songket, then you can see the pattern here. You can see how they inspire the pattern. For example, all these. We have a lot of pucuk rebung style. This is lawi ayam, the chicken tail style, the rooster tail. Lawi ayam is actually a weapon, but this person got inspiration by combining the feather of the chicken and the pucuk rebung. These paintings are quite modern lah, just to get the idea of how it came. The motif came up with from these three elements. This is bunga hati-hati. So all this you can find it in this songket. Pucuk rebung is very big here. Yeah, this is pucuk rebung lawi ayam. The bunga hati-hati is in the middle. While this is the persimmon or tampuk kesemak. The persimmon or pisang kaki motif. While you can find the awang larat similar to the Chinese style awang larat in at the border here. And next to the awang larat is pagar raja. Pagar raja, am I correct? Pagar istana. Pagar istana, the palace gates motif. So this is the whole songket came from the surrounding nature and also architecture. Yeah.
This is a selendang.
Probably selendang lah. Kalau Minangkabau pakai macam selendang.
And for a lady married
I don't know whether married lady. But maybe because we know like certain people have certain colour represent something. This one we don't know because Melayu is colourful. Because men also wear floral motifs, so yeah.
But the symbols all tie into a story for the wearer. Like, does she go and ask for certain symbols to be woven, or she just goes and picks whatever she?
I think everything comes from the artist. If you like something, you just buy. But there's no unless he or she is knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Like they want certain things. But most of the artists are yes. So the next is the final part, which is the pre-Islamic. This is the kawani just now. When people wear chapi, the kids in this they would wear this as the chest panel. So the front and then the back. They would tie with a rantai with necklace. So but here the pattern has Islamic pattern because it got names of Allah. And but also a number here. You can see the numbering represents certain thing lah because they have this calculation of number and letters. We call ilm, the knowledge of letters in Arabic. While the keris, you can see it decorated with Islamic calligraphy, the name of Bismillah, Allah. So it depends on the artist. They try to not show the human figure so much or animals so much, so they decorate it with Islamic element or religious element. So this is just protective gloves. But you can find at the back there's a name of Prophet Muhammad at the back. Yeah. Just the Quran just now see the mirror image. This one also got mirror image the Muhammad. But you can find the or how to say the Chinese style or this because Javanese already embodied all this motif. Even in the Quran you can find similar motif. Yeah. This is Bugis keris, that one. But that one is called Klewang. The klewang is like the shape of the call it makara. So it's like the trunk of the elephant, but it's already reduced to floral, floral. Yeah, you can see at the back. You can see more like so much pattern at the back. More talismanic pattern at the back. Yeah, the movement is big.
I really love this one. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that one is, I think
The number 4.
number 4, yes. This one is called Bugis style keris.
It's so expensive.
Yeah. Usually the royal people would have this but different design lah. The hip not the same as this.
Very nice.
But the concept of Bugis keris is similar, meaning will have this shape, this thing. So there are various types of keris available. Yeah. And that one is with focus on naga. Or the water serpent.
There's hair on it.
Yes.
Whose hair is it?
I don't know.
But it's human hair.
Human hair.
Oh,
Looks like horse.
We
Human
ask for conservators and human.
Oh.
Because in Sarawak also have the same thing. Yes. It's just that the hill is different than Sarawak because got name of Allah there. You can see. So the price is actually similar lah to the Sarawak one.
Where's the name of Allah?
There. You can see Alif Lam.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Okay.
Sorry. And this is when we talk about serpent. There's another serpent, so water serpent. In Borneo, they known it as a dog, aso. It's a type of serpent called aso. So they always motif as protective motif here. Every element is actually more like protective motif lah. For this is we call it mandau or parang ilang. While this one is called lutuan. We have the smaller shape of lutuan that usually you keep your betel nut and all the lime for you to prepare. And this is, you can see the feather-like motif on the top. Feather-like motif on the top is representing the rooster, the sarimanuk, the mythical chicken feather. And the rest is just we call it ukir as well. But this is on metal. For them, motif is known as okir. Or to carve in Malay language. The meaning of the word is to carve. And you can say, oh, this naga keris. Just now you say the Bugis keris. This is naga keris. With the gold insert. Naga. So even though people are Muslim, they still have tradition, thing that they believe especially I think in Indonesia region, still they still believe in protectiveness other than praying. Other material they can protect them. Yeah, but for maybe Malay Peninsula, not so much element, the strong element. So you can find this like naga, like pharmacy naga, but it has the Quranic verses here.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Lovely, very lovely. I really enjoyed it.
All these artifacts from the galleries that were brought here so they are all part of your collection.
Yes, all are part of our collection except the 2 manuscripts that we borrow. Yeah. Because we don't have a lot of Malay world collection here except the paper manuscript Quran. That one we took it from the storeroom. Yeah, so after when it came out from the storeroom, the condition was checked by the conservators, and the conservator we have to restore because it's very in bad condition, so we have to restore. Then we can display. Yeah.
So how many years in advance you all plan an exhibit?
This one is too long.
2 years.
More than that. It's more like 3. This one maybe we start around. It's actually we start beginning sort of like 4 years.
So you all already have plans 4 years in advance,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, we know like Tipu Sultan maybe much earlier. Then we already know until 2027 so far now to 2027.
Oh wow.
Because you need to do your preservation, everything.
Yes, because once we start doing research, the curator doing research, we tell the conservator, okay, we want to display this page. Please restore this page. So how you want to design the mounting one? So we already, we want to display like this or that. We have to discuss with them. Then they will start the mounting unit. We start designing them how to. And we have display unit to do all this to imagine how the display would look like.
And one exhibit is how long? 6 months?
6 months lah, the longest one. But sometimes into 1 year. Previously lah, that depends because that time we got COVID.
So you are a curator, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, how many curators do you have?
I think now we have 8.
8 curators.
Yes,
Oh wow.
What do you study to become a curator?
Well, you have to know at least art lah. If you love art, like you can
Art history.
Yeah, basically art history, cultural studies, basic language would be nice lah.
Oh, so it's not a course in the uni lah. It's
Not like art and culture management.
Art and culture management depends. Museum studies. It depends on the museum what they want at that time.
Well, actually, Marina, you do chemistry, right?
Yeah. Mine is different story. Mine is different related. But
Restoration.
but my seniors, they already left. They already went to go elsewhere.
How long have you been a curator?
11 years.
Wow, very experienced.
Not that much, but yeah. Basically, they know how to speak. To learn Arabic, they must know Arabic at least.
Wow.
But if you don't know, we have a translator, like Persian translator who works here, or Arabic. We have one Arabic translator who works here. So when we don't understand the text, we ask her to read the text so that we can translate. But sometimes when we start, we ask scholars. Sometimes we email any lecturer to translate to help lah.
How many staff you have in this museum?
Less than 100.
Really?
Less than 100.
Very efficient.
Huh.
We don't
And
have
you
many
can have
people.
such amazing exhibits.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. You really.
Hindu thing that you guys were talking about in the earlier part. This is called
Wayang kulit.
that one is called serabat. This tradition only in Java. This one representing the Dewa Lindu, the god of earth that give protection. But there also another wood carving in Australia from Java that representing Ganesha. Yes.
Okay.
So, but also in Islamic calligraphy.
Majapahit is that during that era, right?
Sri Vijaya.
Srivijaya.
This one is not that old. I think I'm not sure, but this tradition came by the ulama. Because the tradition of doing calligraphy became from India, Ottoman, and all that. They always started using the animals such as the lion, because lion gives a signal of protectiveness. So they would use another Islamic Quranic verses to decorate in the shape into animal. So because that one related to the Sayyidina Ali, the Prophet's son-in-law.
Okay.
So the idea came to here. This is because there are a lot of tarikat in Java. This is probably tarikat Shatariyah. by the people in Java. Because that's why there's the element of this wayang kulit is actually carved at the back of this wooden panel, but it's tainted lah. It's not very strongly carved. And this also meaning auspicious meaning about the Javanese, especially this is the demigod lah. So this is total, even though Malay world or Muslim, but Malay Peninsula is totally different than Java in Indonesia, and Mindanao is totally different because the tradition and culture also play important roles, especially in Java region. That's why they always see wayang kulit as also Islamic compared to Malay Peninsula, because for them, because the story of Islamic story, they have their own various type of wayang kulit, and some of the characters are Imam Bonjol. There's a few imams.
Thailand also got
Yeah.
There's one exhibit at University Malaya now
Yeah,
with
yeah.
similar
Yes, they have a lot.
puppets
Yes. So this.
in the exhibit. Yeah, so you can go if you want.
Yeah. I have time to go. I saw
Okay.
it online.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the final one lah. Alright. Thank you so much
Okay.
for your nice.